Chapter 828. The sound of an explosion, more intense than ever, resounded through the air. Those who had shielded their faces from the ensuing blast were stunned into silence at the sight that greeted them once they regained their composure. What in the world? The attacks unleashed by several had been impeccably blocked by just two individuals. Either had fended off the sage's allies, and Kishir had thwarted Nahan's. It was unbelievable, even to those witnessing it. With their swords and an array of elemental abilities, these two parried every assault using only a single blade and the power of an awakener. They straightened up, exchanging looks of mutual reassurance without uttering a word. Kishir, surrounded by a blue aura, gently shook off his sword and smiled softly without a sound. In stark contrast, either maintained a flawless, unemotional stance, ready to move at any moment. Though their appearances were polar opposites, in some sense they seemed perfectly interlocked, like two pieces of a puzzle. No one dared speak first, witnessing a scene that could only exist with absolute confidence that their counterpart would block every attack from the opposite side. Amidst this tense silence, it was Kishir Laor's soft voice that broke it. To think we would encounter those we have long sought all at once. Today is a fortunate day. ... It seems we were bound to meet soon, but this time and place are less than ideal. Surely you didn't think this commotion would go unnoticed? So, do you have something to say? Nahan, did you really have to go this far? The first response came from the sage's side. He was not looking at Kishir, but at Nahan. Though not as battered as Nahan, the sage's appearance was also disheveled. His meticulously combed beard was now tangled, and his skin bore fine blood-red streaks from overusing his abilities. But what truly marred his visage was his hoarse voice, devoid of its usual calm, and his bloodshot eyes, filled with unmistakable irritation and anger. Kidnapping Daemon to lure me here and summoning the cavalry here wasn't enough. In this situation, you still act so well, our esteemed sage? Nahan replied with a disdainful glance. You were the one who prepared in advance to abandon everyone and come here all alone. So, I'm not sure who called whom. Oh, have you decided to stop referring to yourself with that odd title? Nahan continued, looking at the trembling sage's beard. Of course, I came here anticipating this. Please, no more lies. Because of you, Nahan, the Star of Nagran has lost its chance. A chance so hard won, ruined. You killed the Star of Nagran and now me. What next? Do you think you alone will survive this? My goal has always been singular. Your questioning seems to imply you have never once considered sharing that goal. Nahan, engulfed in mutual suspicion and hatred and lost in the memories of their past sufferings and losses, they were unable to recognize the truth even in a situation where a little thought would be sufficed. In fact, the suspicion that the other party might be collaborating with the cavalry was a mere fragment compared to other concerns. The sage was most angered by the ruin of his long-prepared plans to seize power. The catastrophic downfall of the Star of Nagran, which he had always believed would support him, was something he had never even imagined. From the moment Nahan realized how twisted he had become under the guise of faith, he prioritized condemning the sage over all his previous objectives. Already a man who wouldn't hesitate to take extreme actions for his beliefs, he was now determined to continue even at the cost of his own destruction. Questions like, why has it come to this, no longer existed for either side. Reacted by the sage's anger, his followers, who were brainwashed, writhed in agony before resuming their attacks. Nahan's colleagues, recently freed from the sage's illusion due to his powerful illusion abilities, prepared to counterattack. It seems the cavalry no longer catches their eyes. That's why they are causing such chaos here. For them, who's in league with the cavalry is no longer important. Yudhir quietly responded to Kishor's comment, who remained composed even amidst the brewing storm of attacks. Though Kishor's initial statement was ambiguous enough to fuel misunderstanding, it was clear if the reaction was too good or not. As promised, I will handle the sage's side. And I will take care of the opposite. Understood. Gakane, Kurga, you have the others take care of the surroundings and help out. Either, weapon in hand, lunged toward the sage as soon as he finished speaking. With intense concentration, the sage's commands to his followers and even his movement appeared incredibly slow in Either's eyes. His voice was equally sluggish. Get to Nahan. Hurry. That cavalry too. Filled with rage, yet searching for a place to flee alone, the sage's eyes darted around in panic. Who would still call this distorted figure the sage? Initially, Yudhir thought this sage might be a completely different person from Daemon he had encountered in his previous life, but he was wrong. The wild nature etched on the sage's face now was not much different from Daemon's after he had confessed his deeds battered by Yudhirian ale. Yudhir once again blocked the onslaught of attacks all at once, as he had done before. This time, he deliberately allowed a reactive force causing a storm-like roar. The fierce backlash from the explosion sent those in the front line tumbling and screaming. Although there had been moments in the battle where blind forces clashed and rebounded uncontrollably, it had never been like this. The power that now repelled and utterly overwhelmed them felt like an unstoppable, massive storm. Groaning, those who raised their heads despite being brainwashed hesitated as if struck by fear. Their instinct to survive was overwhelmed by the immense pressure they faced. Seizing this opportunity, Yudhir imbued his sword with the power of the wind and swung it skillfully. By cunningly altering the speed and destabilizing the center of gravity, a one-handed sword could wield as much, if not more, power than a two-handed sword. The moment a brainwashed knight's sword clashed with Yudhir's, it partially slid off. Yudhir, seizing the moment of his opponent's disrupted stance, thrust his wind-empowered palm into the knight's solar plexus. Accompanied by a sound that seemed impossible for a human body to make, the knight was sent flying helplessly through the air. Without a backward glance at the fallen knight, who now convulsed and foamed at the mouth, Yudhir neutralized the next enemy's weapon, tripping him by the ankles and then blasting water in his face. The foe fell backward, not even having the chance to scream. The next assailant, an awakener who moved sluggishly due to their body enhancement ability, was straightforwardly struck on the back of the head. Another, inferior in power to Yudhir and using a conflicting element, was neutralized and rendered unconscious. The time it took Yudhir to incapacitate these four with a complex interplay of force and physical movement was nothing more than a few blinks of an eye. Even as he simultaneously wielded his sword and power, Yudhir's ruthlessly efficient attacks left his enemies collapsing without understanding how they had been defeated. No, this can't be. What happened? The sage's voice, panicked and shouting incoherently, echoed in the ears. The sage's brainwashing ability was undeniably threatening. However, his weakness was starkly evident. Being a mental ability user, he lacked significant physical strength. Moreover, unlike Nahan, the sage had never directly encountered or confronted Yudhir. This was a significant difference.